We are ready to rumble.
All right, ready to go.
I don't.
You look like you steal phones on the side.
Okay.
As a side hustle, but people don't know. Your friends don't know.
No me one anyone. You want rand.
For?
So no my
Hi, Chef.
What's going on?
That's what she said.
What's
She
going on?
started looking like one of them niggas who still falls on the side.
No, but like your friends don't know. It's like a secret side hustle.
Recording now.
That's how it looks.
Okay.
Evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to Everything Above Life. Yeah, today I'm here with another guest of mine. But before I introduce my guest, I have an announcement to make, right? My last week's guest, Nati Pumwaya, good friend of mine. Right. Because I realized I'm not good with this techno, whatever, recording and shit. I decided I'm going to make him my executive producer. So sometimes it's going to co-host, but most of the time it's going to be my
promotion, dog, promotion. You gotta promote. That was the fastest promotion ever in life.
I guess I'm very lucky with getting positions.
No, I'm
I know I have a strong.
I'm going to put me on, dog.
I came through
One day.
Other company I was working at,
And
they promoted me in 3 months.
I need to rub your head every fucking morning.
And this was just a week later.
I mean,
1 day's work.
One day they're like, you know what?
Oh, probably because I showed my resilience. I have to record 3 episodes.
But when Beth know this man.
This man has
for a person who lost 2 files, I got a.
I need to rub you. You're a fucking lamp. You're a genie. I need to rub you.
But people need to start paying me because I always get promoted. But
the funds don't show. They don't reflect.
Yeah, guys, welcome to it. As you can see, today is full of laughs. Every day is today's full of laughs. So yeah, Nati is my new executive producer.
Yeah,
it's gonna be my co-host sometimes. I think today's also gonna be my co-host.
The ghost.
You're the ghost.
Yeah.
You have a nickname.
No, we need a better name.
Come on, we need to get one.
Like other people.
Like the God, you know.
Yeah, we need a better name.
Like the voice of God.
You
know what I mean? You need something like Almighty, like Nati Almighty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You see? But you don't do that on the show.
We don't have effects.
Yeah, we don't effects. Don't do that on the show.
Visuals as well.
Of course.
We have to push this.
I like it, Nati Almighty.
Nati Almighty.
Thank you.
That sounds better. You see, that sounds better.
I might have that as my new AKA.
Hey.
Who knows?
Yeah, guys,
Sure,
by the way,
sure.
Was it last week? I think we got a handle wrong last week. We said it was Lenah _. Turns out it's just Lenah Sibisi. My God.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get it right. Anyways, guys, my guest today is Lenah Sibisi.
Hi.
Actor.
Oh gosh.
Aspiring.
No.
No, she's not an aspiring
I'm not
actor.
an aspiring actor.
She said she's an actor.
An actor.
She's qualified.
Yes, I went to school. I got the awards.
It wasn't the actor part. I was getting to the business part. Businesswoman.
Yes.
She's a businesswoman. She's also a teacher.
No.
What is it?
Most importantly, she's a community builder.
Yes.
Humanitarian.
I'm a community developer. That's what I do.
You see, you're already showing why you promoted.
Why
I
you're the
need the
brains.
job. I'm unemployed anyway.
We're all unemployed. I am unemployed, guys. All these titles, they mustn't lie. It's unemployment.
You titled if I'm missing anything.
Like AKA the most awesome woman you know.
Yeah, again, another long-term friend of mine, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you.
The first girl in the squad.
And the
first lady. First lady.
The only girl in the squad.
The original. Hello. Respect me.
Yeah. One of one.
Literally.
One of one.
Literally. I've known you guys way too long.
Yeah.
How
How many years is it now?
I think it's over 20, honestly.
It's a lot of years.
Dude.
I think
That's a lot
it's 2
of years.
decades.
Context in Mpuhlweni is where we actually live. Is where most of us actually live in Mpuhlweni. It's in Tembisa.
Before we even got
Actually,
tar
like
roads.
most of us, we grew up together. In a way. So
Yeah, no,
we could say our whole lives, depending on who's the oldest.
Yeah.
But then like, it's only Victor who came in later when we were around the age of 6.
Yeah.
That's when he came through.
But the rest of us.
Since
but the rest of us,
And I'm 28.
Yeah.
So that provides a bit of context.
Yeah.
to this too.
So. Why you gotta say like why?
Inside the Kevin Hart clip.
Wow. Why you gotta say like that? I don't like your tone. I don't like your tone.
I hate you.
I don't like your tone. I know.
She's a guest on my show. She's a guest on my show.
I hate you.
Mandela die for my freedom.
I have to provide context just for the audience. Just for the audience. Just for the audience.
Like I said, and me, I'm 56 years old. Damn!
That hurt me. Like, I felt it. I felt it. Wow.
My bad.
You have no respect.
My bad.
You don't respect me. And you're older than me.
My bad.
This guy was fucking old. He's a few years away from no more being considered youth.
How?
You do realize, guys, that in the first minutes of this podcast has just been laughing non-stop. Exactly. We're a bit alcoholed up, guys. So
No, don't count me in your sins. Do not count me in your sins.
Let me speak for myself.
It's what happens every time we get together.
Honestly, it is.
Yeah.
It's like AKA said, what's that line, man? Every time I pull up, it's a good time. I should die. What it look like?
Every time.
I think we are each other's best company.
Dog.
Literally.
Dog.
We are like the girlfriends and the wives' worst nightmare because we're literally like the boys.
Yeah, when I say I'm linking up with the boys.
Yeah. Though you're not gonna see me the rest of the day.
Yeah, you must just know.
Yeah. It's quite tough actually because like we're getting older. We don't have as much time as we wanted to. And this other time, Victor like posted that picture on Instagram with the J. Cole song. Like the bigger we get, the more likely egos collide. It's just physics. Please let's put our egos aside.
You're mad.
Divine niggas and if our worst tendencies turn us into enemies. I hope that we remember these.
Nice full of Hennessy's.
Mara Susie Black, like,
I like putting
Black and Jack. And
actually,
honey.
we drink whatever the budget will allow.
Exactly.
Whoever has the money will decide what we're drinking. Yeah, no, I just drive, guys. I've had a wholesome Saturday, so my kids, plan some things.
Yeah. How was that?
My class.
Yeah.
Oh, my class is always fantastic. My kids are the greatest kids I will ever know, ever. They are happy, they are willing, they are exciting, they're young, they're funny. My kids are funny as hell. They're smart, they're curious. It's awesome.
And like we were talking about this on the last episode, it's like it's not like they're being forced, like they don't feel like they're forced. And so you posted that you forgot your class and they literally fetched you from your house.
Yeah.
So like imagine like it's 2022 and there's kids who literally want to be in class and learn.
Yeah, like if I tell them, okay, we have a week off or 2 weeks off, it's a fight. Like I have to literally negotiate my leave.
We are not approving this. We're not on the parts. I'm applying for leave.
With 10-year-olds. 10-year-olds. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, no, those
It's anyway. But man, let them which one is about after 2 weeks, I say understand.
Literally,
Yeah.
like,
2 weeks and then 2 weeks.
Like what are holidays?
My holidays are
School
one.
holidays, yeah, it's cool.
but
for
it's
school.
boring.
But
Damn.
But it's boring. But school holidays are boring. They want to come to class. So I have to move around my schedule as much as possible to accommodate them. Or like there was one time where I was working full time. I was shooting something, and I was like, I'm only available on Sundays, and they came.
No wonder you don't have a boyfriend.
Wow, damage. Emotional damage.
For context,
Can we just have a moment of silence for my love life?
Emotional damage.
The kids asked her if she has a boyfriend. and
They
she
just
said
asked
no.
me that.
How could you do that? How could you do that?
Like, you know what? It's fine, guys. It's only been Listen, I've only been single for 4 years. It hasn't been that long.
Jeez.
You ain't gotta say like you feel sorry for me. Wow, the interjections.
So that means the year that you became single, I could have went to college.
I have a degree in singleness. You know what? I cool. I cool.
What the fuck? This episode is lit, yo. This episode is lit, yo.
I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. Decide.
Does anyone have that clip there? Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. But
Let's get back to the kids. Yeah, take over.
So abantwana bakafunda baplayele ne-leave.
No, yeah. They're awesome.
Dude, you're awesome. That I think we must commend that dog.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Smosh is awesome, dog. For the entire inside, you're doing it mahala, and you're doing it for these kids, and these kids they love it.
Straight out of your own pocket. Straight out of your own pocket,
dude.
Because like those trips they had to take, and she used her own money to fund the transport for these kids, and which is like great. You know, like she's doing like something like you might not see it like at face value at first, but it's important for young kids to leave the township, like for a day, you know, to go out explore.
They need to see a life outside of their walls.
You know,
of their circumstance. I think that's why I push for trips so much, because I want them to see that they are bigger than their four walls. They are bigger than their circumstances. Their dreams are valid. The dreams and the worlds that we read about exist outside of the little books that we read. So that's why I push so much for us to go on trips and watch movies and do things like that, so that they know that whatever it is that they strive for is not too big.
Guys, you gave him a goosebumps, huh?
Dude, I'm getting goosebumps as well, because I'm thinking about the first time that I entered into a cinema. So I'm only thinking, like, how did it feel for someone who's never been inside a cinema? And
to enter cinema for the first time.
You feel me? And it's from, like, it's not like your direct relative. It's not like your sister. Okay, it's like your bigger sister in the community as a village, obviously. But you know, stuff like that. But you're walking into like a cinema for the first time just from someone else's kind heart, from their own pocket. It's fucking.
Guys, my kids have been on TV. Please respect them.
Oh.
They've been on television.
Hey man, our parents didn't pay TV license for nothing. We finally saw one of our own on SABC. What?
They've been on television, my kids. Listen.
Can I say something from my
Yeah, Joe, come on.
I mean, I feel like just for a lot of these celeb, a lot of celeb, they do shit and buy a post with, hey, I'm doing charity work, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. For one umuntu ukuthi abone ukuthi hey lo muntu lona is in touch in the community, but usibosh ayenza, and she's not trying to expose ukuthi hey mina ngenze ukuthi I'm doing this, hey I'm doing that, I'm doing that. I feel like mina kimi, it shows with that's from the goodness of her heart. You know, she's not trying, she's not doing it for exposure. Uyayenza because yena uyayithanda. Yabona? Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
It's love.
Thumbs up.
It's love,
dog.
And
thumbs up.
To add on to what Lunga is saying, these kids' lives are gonna be changed forever. Even if they probably move on from this. Right?
And the nice thing is she already has success stories already.
Dude, and she's gonna have
She already
more.
has success
Like
stories.
she's gonna
which
have.
is like great.
Uh,
Actually, you know, like we need those.
we need more success stories of kids actually accomplishing something. These kids won't forget it. Like I feel like when you have some like that type of influence that you have on these kids, Tom, at some point in their lives, if they feel they wanna quit, they're probably gonna go back to the moment that we spoke about from this.
Oh.
And they're gonna remember somebody believed in me.
Yeah.
So I need to believe in myself.
And this is in the township where like dreams are not valid.
They're not valid at all. And she provided a platform for them
Yeah.
to express their talents and to find out what they're actually good at and to develop confidence as well. So that's why we say it's amazing, but we don't say it enough. Dog, it's amazing. We
It
don't say it
is
enough. We
amazing.
don't. It's amazing.
I'm grateful actually because now I know where my kids are gonna be spending Saturdays.
Dude.
You know how I gifted your kids, fam.
Yeah.
I gave them books.
Yeah, the first
Some salt
imagine
paper.
my kids can't even read yet, but they already have books.
Yeah.
So like now I have to build a shelf, and it has to keep growing.
DIY
And then,
daddy.
yeah,
DIY daddy.
You know,
Finally,
I
it's gonna
have
be like a library. Yeah.
I have a student who left for Zim a few years ago. He was in grade 7 when he left. So he's in a Christian private school now in Zim. I think he's been gone for like 3 years. And he found me on Instagram and he sent me an inbox. I think if you look on my Instagram, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm so grateful and like I'm thriving. Everything you've taught me, I'm applying. I'm doing so well. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. And he was one of like my good kids, Emmanuel. I still remember him to this day. And when he left, like I was in tears. Every time my kids leave, like I was in tears. And the fact that he went and found me 3 years later after, you know, he's lived his life. He's in grade 10 now, you know, he's going through puberty. He's got a deep voice
You
now.
should be getting some.
He's 16. He's 16. He's 16. Yeah, man. So it was.
Look at your old niggas acting all innocent.
That is our baby. So he's a baby. So I was so happy to read that, and I was like, whoa, one kid. Like that for me is all it takes.
You're changing.
One kid.
You're changing somebody. You're changing a person's life.
I don't even want children. And why is this my life?
But you're changing these kids' lives, though.
Yeah.
They're gonna become better members of society because, like, you taught them.
You probably might get the next great president from one of these.
You
I
won't
hope
know.
so.
You won't know.
I just want them to be happy.
Yeah. What's the important?
Literally, I just want them to be
You want these
happy.
kids to be happy.
And they know, like, every time after our class, I'll have one kid say, like, tell us how special we are. So we have a little mantra that we say, you know, like, I am special, I will be successful, and nothing and no one will stop me.
That's what I wanted to touch on. That it's not only you teaching them the literature, but you know, like the fact that Black people are scared to succeed. So you're giving them the confidence. So now we're going to have a totally new generation of Black people that are constantly succeeding and not having the fear that the previous generations keep on having.
Yeah, they don't have doubts in their mind because because they reiterate them to themselves. The teacher said to them, "Lalala, these are the words that you should say to yourself.
You are special.
You must believe them."
Yeah.
And over time, when you get like, if somebody listen,
Affirmations, man.
Oh,
Affirmations.
affirmations are important, though. It doesn't have to be from so many other people, but even if you get it from one particular person, if Lo Mutulo believes that you are special, man, you feel like you can take on the world. So I feel like you're one of that point that you're raising, that these kids are gonna be the kids that are gonna create and succeed without doubts in their minds. So in the with a half-hearted attempt to go, okay, I might fail at this. So they might, in the back of the mind, they might put it that my teacher believes I'm special, so it means I'm special. So I'm gonna do something.
And even when we fail, like I even teach my kids, like if you fail forward and fail hard, because at least you tried. At least try. You know, even when they come across like hard words, I'm like, try it. It's okay. I'm here. If it's wrong, I'm here and I'll teach you. And if I don't know it, dictionary will know it. If dictionary will go to Google. Like, I don't know everything. So I don't ever come to my kids as a superior person, as somebody who knows it all. I'm learning just as much as they are. So a lot of the times, like, we're with dictionaries together, we're on Google together, and they're teaching me. They ask me questions all the time. I'm like, oh, baby, I have no idea, but let's Google. Let us Google this. You know?
At first, you don't succeed.
I feel like
try and try
again.
Try again.
I feel like
fail forward.
the essence of being it. I think probably that's what our curriculum sort of lacks. Not curriculum per se, but I think our teacher. What's what she's saying? It's okay for you not to know something. Because I think usually in high school, teachers would come with like we'd ask a question that they don't know, and they take offense to you asking that sort of question and them not knowing it. Instead of saying, "Here's like or ban angiyazi lento le what's my Google or ngizobuya ne-answer masibuya ne-answer I learn and now there's more intrigue to actually learn.
Today, I actually learned that the sun illuminates the earth in 8 minutes. I learned that from one of my students.
What?
I was like, wait, what? Because she asked me, she was writing a story about how the world had light. So how light became, you know. And then, she asked me a question. She's like, ma'am, how long does the sun take to illuminate the earth? I was like, I have no idea. But she's like, no, I learned it in social science. It was 8 minutes. And I was like, I did not know that.
You see?
Well, today I know.
I didn't know that either. I don't think neither of us did.
I was like, okay.
I didn't know that. I never learned that in social science.
I studied science and geography in school, but I
didn't learn it in geography too.
I still didn't know that. I just learned it
She's
today.
in grade 9. I was like, well, thank you. I mean, even that, like I have kids. I mean, obviously, because my age range is usually from grade 2 to grade 7.
Yeah.
So those are, because I mean, I am based in a primary school, so those are the kids I usually work with. But it's so lovely to see kids that I've started with from the beginning who are in grade 10 and come back. Who I would think, oh man, like who wants to be in a class of grade 2s?
Exactly. And thank goodness for that, you know, we're going to have like teenagers who are not thinking about these other things and literally focusing on studies and being great males and females in the world and changing shit.
Lenah provided a space for that.
And even
Yes,
when they
not
do,
to-
like, I don't judge my kids at all. Even when they get into stuff like that, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Even when they misbehave, like, I don't believe in punishments and things. I don't punish my kids. I ask them, okay, why? Where's this behavior coming from? Oh, no, ma'am, I just felt insecure about something, so, you know, I took it out on something. I'm like, okay, that's not okay. Maybe you should apologize, you know? And they'll go and apologize.
It's like a confusing time, you know, also like being a teenager, puberty, hormones, you're not knowing how to deal with it, and probably like they come from families that are not willing to talk about, like, you know, oh, so now you have a period, you know, how do you take care of yourself during a period times? It's easier now for you if you're sexually active, you know, to get pregnant. So what are the other contraceptive plan Bs you can take? Because like you can't control what
kids are going to do.
but you can try to prevent it as much
Or
as
arm them
possible.
with enough information for them to make smart choices.
So that's the thing, that in our communities as Black people, is that this thing is taboo. It's not talked about. Even today, in 2022, like, we're not talking about such issues.
in the building.
Which is like crazy. That just during lockdown, it was announced that there's kids as young as 10 years old, girls who are pregnant, and obviously it's not 10-year-old boys that are impregnating.
It's
these
rape.
girls, you see, and these things are not talked about. Like if those girls had the proper information, they probably wouldn't have Plan B, you know, use contraceptives, you know, all that stuff.
And this is when, like, even as a small organization as myself, I need help. I need help from people who know more, who have the resources to teach things like sex ed and things like that. Because also I don't feel equipped to do all of those things, you know what I mean, myself, because I know as much information as I know. And some of it is wrong, some of it is outdated, some of it is biased based with my own experiences. So it needs, even though my organization exists on its own, it needs the community, it needs the government, it needs the school, it needs involvement from parents, so that it's a holistic learning, so that the kids don't feel so isolated in this little bubble of ours that we've created, but they feel supported from their friends, from their family, from their community, so that they know that, okay, I'm not alone. And sometimes I don't feel comfortable talking to my mom. Sometimes I don't feel comfortable talking to my teacher. But I can talk to Miss Lenah, because my kids have told me things that I'm just like, it's a lot for me to handle. I don't even have the tools to handle it myself. But I will call on teachers, I'll call on police. I mean, I've had situations where I've had to go to the police with a child because they were in such a situation that I could not handle myself. So it's so important for community itself to know what's happening around them, to know the organizations that they can lend their hand in, you know. Us sitting around, chilling and drinking and whatnot, it's fun and all, but there's so much life after us. Like, we had each other. Thank God, like, our friend group has some sort of sense, you know? Has some sort of sense. As insane as we are. You know, we had that. We had each other through everything. So my kids, they're so isolated. They feel judged. They feel alone. They're in a system that's lost, that's under-resourced, that's overworked, that doesn't have support. So our little bubble that we've created, they feel safe enough to be like, ma'am, I'm scared. There's this and this happening. I don't know what to do. Ma'am, this boy is saying this. I'm not sure. Ma'am, I don't know. I don't think I like girls. Okay. You know what I mean? They have those conversations, and they haven't so cavalier. It's not sad. Even when they say the word sex and things like that, there's no reaction from me. Because the minute you react, you tell the kid that, oh, that's wrong. You know? Even the other day, one of my students was reading a novel, and he was explaining what the novel is about and how the kid was having sex with somebody and they felt pregnant. And obviously the younger kids were like, reacted. And I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. How do you feel about that? And immediately it destigmatized the whole thing. And now the kids felt comfortable. They were like, oh, okay, we can talk about this. It's okay to ask questions.
So, like, Usbosh is basically providing like a safe space. I know what in Mklambi we need to. I think she's a shining light, but I feel like there's obviously more that we can do.
That's what my name means. Lenah means bearer of light.
We're gonna find it somewhere there. I'm gonna get the horns.
But yeah, what I'm basically trying to say is, you are a bearer of light, nah. But I feel like in some sense, like, as a community, particularly yes, I feel like we're also failing Usbosh. Because
yeah, and like, you know, she does mention a lot, and she's not scared to say that she needs help.
Exactly.
Like any type of help.
So I think now it's gonna become a job of anybody who's probably listening here. If you're listening here, and you feel like you can do something, you feel like you can have an influence on something, you can probably help out with this Bush with our foundation.
Yeah,
you can get more community members involved, so we can find a way to just make our little community as better for our kids.
And the foundation is called Khanyisa Books Foundation, by the way.
Khanyisa Books Foundation. Yes. Last week we couldn't get the name. We got the.
Unconnected Wi-Fi.
No.
Got an You got an old name. Rebranded. Khanyisa Books.
It's another kids lit.
No, like our program, because we have other programs underneath Khanyisa Books Foundation. So this program particularly is Kids Lit.
We got Gamalaki. Lenah_.
So reach out to. Okay, please give us the handles.
On Facebook is Khanyisa Books Foundation. On TikTok is Khanyisa Books Foundation. On Instagram is Khanyisa Books Foundation. Also Lenah Sibisi, Lenah.Sibisi. Facebook as well, Instagram as well, and Twitter as well.
So please, guys, if you are listening and you want,
and it's Lenah with an E, please. Lenah.
She said that. Yeah, she said that.
slowly for other kids.
So
Lenah.Sibisi.
You're right. We know. My dog. We know. Lalela. Peta matalenta pa Usbosh.
Yeah.
Akafundisa abantwana
Before we
phela.
move on, can we just shout out, like, the teacher that provided the class for her to do the program? And also
Shout out
the
to you.
schools.
It's good Kamala
Yes,
Kobani.
Miss Kunene, she's a grade 1 teacher, one of the most amazing teachers I've ever met. A lot of my students actually were her grade 1s, which means what kind of foundation has she built with them?
True.
There's such a great human being in the
Shout
class.
out to you. Siyabonga, mama.
And thank you to
Thank you.
Tutuga
Thank
Primary,
you. Thank you
for
to
opening
Tutuga
their
as well.
doors
Tutuga
to
Primary
me.
School. That's
Tutuga Primary
my
School.
school. What you know about that
Musi.
represent? Guys, I went there from grade 1 to grade 3.
What year was that?
As he says it with a twang. It's my primary school.
Yes, I'm saying with the twang, but it was my primary school.
What year was that?
To this dog.
We don't need to talk about this offline.
We need to have this
These are family
conversation.
kind of things we don't discuss.
Shout out Miss Kunene. Thank you so much for helping our sister. Thank you 1,000 times.
Yeah, thank you. She's
Sazi
amazing.
singakubonga kanjani siswele into eyinkulungwane,
And she's a
thank you
Zulu
so
teacher,
much.
so hey, listen, speak your speak.
Yeah.
My shout out.
My shout out is under Jule Kanda, man. Siyabonga.
Sibane emabhosini.
Sukani emabhosini, siyabonga. Mara yo
How does this podcast?
ngiyithakazelo zakini.
So guys, entemelele yazi ngosibosho. Usibosho akafundisi kuphela, zibhaye into ezenzayo. Into ayenzayo. Umngane wami uya-actor. Ngiyachoma. Ngifuna ngiyabachomela abantu umngane wami uya-actor. Ngane wami use-TV, use-television. Ngiyamthola naku-DStv.
Showmax, baby.
And not
Showmax.
just the small time actor.
Ah, eh. Akazi extra nyane ku-generation sedlulayo.
Not a supporting act as
Akasasupport.
well.
Akasupport.
Not a support.
By the way, I didn't tell anybody this, guys. Ne? I was actually on the river. I was shooting the river a couple of weeks ago.
I'm getting the effect.
RG. Lynn is in a place to be. Can I get in RG?
It's a very small part, guys. Like, I'm literally there for 5 minutes, but
We
like,
don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. As long as you're there.
Guys,
I had a
have to
body
say
double,
something.
guys.
5 minutes in television is a long time.
It's a long time, my nigga. It's a long time.
Television.
We're gonna watch that thing even next year.
So pinda.
Boy, she's about there.
I had a body double and all, guys. I had a body double and all. Literally.
And then they said this is a small part.
I had a stunt double, guys. I had a stunt double.
Only main characters have stunt doubles, guys.
No, legit, it was tiny, but like it was such a huge thing because it's such a commercial show. So it was like, whoa, okay, cool. Okay.
Lalela, ngithi ngiyoreposta so posta kuma status, ngiposte ku Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as much as I can. Baba, siyaposta.
Oh my word, I'm
Actually, next
telling
time
you
we play
on.
this thing. We're talking to a real actor here. Someone who was on King Insurance adverts.
Hayi le bathi beleletha amakethi.
Keep my files. And keep my files. And keep my files and keep my files. Guys, I was at the State Theatre in June. Like, oh, that was amazing. That was incredible. That was incredible.
State theater. What you know?
I was a lead in a show for the Youth Expression Festival called Death of My Womb. I was playing the lead, a lesbian
Please
girl.
repeat that for people who want to.
Oh, Death of My Womb, but it's moved on. I'm hoping it will get a season at the State Theatre. Let's hope and pray. But yeah, it was such an incredible. I mean, the State Theatre is such a huge monumental building in the arts community. You know, like so it was.
they host idols, so it's not small time.
You know?
not
So,
small time,
yeah, I had a little lead partynyana, you know?
Oh, I'm gonna. When yazi uSibosha yathanda ukushayela phansi itebhodi right. Yazi kumele uzifonele. uSibosha akathanda uzifonela.
Mela sifonela lo muntu lo. She has a lot of airtime. She has a lot of airtime, but she's sending please calls.
Akasifonela ukuzifonela. These are not
Now
small.
this is not small, Brian.
No.
You know, like we're still looking forward to season 2 of the Afrikaans show.
Tijdelijk terminaal.
We don't even speak Afrikaans. We don't
Tijdelijk
understand.
terminaal.
Ah, you will speak Afrikaans, Baba.
Yeah,
Speak like them, Baba.
Yes, Baba. I can't Afrikaans.
Kind of Afrikaans spread.
Yeah.
We will watch it with subtitles.
Yeah.
Akunaflop. But kahle nathi since upromoted ngicela uthole le button le pop siyalifuna.
Please.
Siyalifuna ukukhulu ukushesha.
Please.
To up the budgets. Yeah. Bump the cheese up.
Ayikho budget.
Bump the cheese up. Bump the cheese
Ayikho
up.
budget.
Yeah. We're getting the pop.
Yeah, but guys, yeah,
Dum,
Sposh
dum,
is an
dum, dum.
actor. Hey, Brian, this thing doesn't. So,
Yeah.
like, so how many things have you actually done, like as an actor? Shows that you started in. Hey, man.
As an actor, I don't know, man. Like, I've done a lot of plays. I think I've done like over 10 plays, honestly. I've done a lot of plays. I've done short films. I've done ads. I've actually been an extra in a few Afrikaans shows before I graduated. I was an extra in Stadlopers. I was an extra in Hotel.
This is
a person who can switch
You
from
go to Greece once upon a time.
Zulu to English,
Was it
Afrikaans, and
Where was
keep and use the accent of the language.
Yeah, we are must.
Ja,
And
jy
not
moet
talking
mooi
like,
Afrikaans praat hoor.
Yeah, man ngamjwayelanga sihleli naye ngazi ukuthi why umngane unayistop kanje athanda ukukhuluma isiLungu.
Yeah, I can 70 land.
I'm using my mom's school fees. She paid for it.
Yes, but that is good.
And she did tell us that she dreams in English.
Yo, I supposed to buy English.
You know what's funny? Because I do.
I got pig.
I do. This is not a lie. This is not a lie.
Okay.
But I taught myself Zulu because my Zulu was atrocious. But I taught myself Zulu. I taught myself how to read it. I taught myself how to write it. So uma ngikhuluma isiZulu nje uyangizwa hey.
Yeah,
Okay, uyakwazi
Issue.
ukusifunda.
Aware of words.
I have a question. Since we all know, we see uMagriza vele umuntu abantu abadala. Since you say you dream in English. Nakafika kuwe, does she talk English also?
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
Can I please answer this? Can I please answer this? This was on the first episode of Everything Above Life with Ubuhle Khumalo. And she actually said a very important thing. They went like, like when people say like, why you patlang in English, your ancestors won't hear you. But she's like, no, we acting like we're talking about people who were like pre-colonial. These people are actually smart. They know English. They would like, but it's this way to learn this English. So like we should, use the education they gave us. So our ancestors understand whether you talk to them in English or Mrs.
And also, like language is such a human thing. Like language goes far beyond words. Communication goes far beyond language itself. So there's so many ways, and mostly like ancestors communicate in symbols, like symbolism. It's not about English, bruh. And also, how dare you think my ancestors are so rudimentary that they'll be like phased by English? Come on.
Ungazikhuluma isiNgisi. Ungazikhuluma isiNgisi.
English, come on. That's such a basic language.
Yeah, this thing, like, it's energy. It's energy. Because, like, they once asked, which, like, is English a sign of intelligence?
Oh, God, no.
And, like, a lot of people got it wrong. And the answer was that, no, it's just a medium of communication.
It's a sign of intelligence. Some of us, we don't even know English.
It's okay.
But you're speaking English.
No.
Also, English, like I feel like there's so many things that get lost because English can be so empty. It can be so empty.
There's not enough expression in it.
You know what I mean?
No,
there's some
there's
things
not
that
enough
you.
expression in English.
I've learned English through the thingy, the gang. Yeah.
To the squad, ne?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Says a nigga that's always dating colors.
You know,
I'm trying to understand what's going on.
language is sexually transmitted.
I was saying, I'm trying to call me English 24/7, 365 days of the year.
Language is sexually transmitted. It is. Honestly, like, that's the truth. Like, language is sexually transmitted. Because if you date somebody of another culture, you will learn how to communicate with them, whether you like it or not.
For sure.
You will learn it. So it's sexually transmitted.
Yeah,
It's sexually
for
transmitted.
sure.
But I remember like an instance where it's like, hey, you know, I'm going to teach you.
Going back to the
Going back to the Emma, you must go back to your roots, Mama. We have
Empty.
English is empty. There's not enough expression in
yeah.
English. Sometimes
Because,
Going back with English is like empty. Doesn't have that
but
thing.
English is
Hey, colleagues, English yapha easy. Yes, sometimes go ufuna ukukhuluma into ngesizulu. Noma asithi ukhuluma mhlambe neboss yakho, boss yakho umlomo. Iboss yakho umlomo. Boss yakho ithi, "Hey, tshela something." Uyabona
ufuna ukumphendula ngesizulu. Manje understand ukuthi manje okay, mangamshaya ngesizulu anye ka understand. Uzofuna
Uvela uthule, ikuthule usho uthi hayi okay.
I'm sorry, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
And funny enough, I'm actually reading a book called Ancestry by Linah Sibisi, who is Inyanga.
Oh, Kabazela.
Yeah, and a lot of the pages and the stories are in Zulu because she was just like, there's just some things that I can't say. There's just some things that I can't say in English. There's some things that I can't translate. So she will have like little footnotes where she'll translate the words that she uses. But a lot of it, like there's a lot of it that's in Zulu that I've appreciated. I mean, today I read one of the stories that were written by her in Zulu to my kids because when I read it in English, it just didn't hold water.
Yeah.
It didn't hold water. But when I said it in Zulu, my kids were like, so I asked them, I was like, what did the story mean to you? They were like, oh guys, so don't trust everybody. I'm like, yes. And they're like, don't be greedy. Don't have gluttony. You know, and just from a short story and you go.
Yeah, what's
Gluttony.
Don't be gluttonous.
Don't be gluttonous,
Don't be
man.
gluttonous. Listen to that. But some of us we know is where.
Yes, no.
Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes.
Guys, I also run a business. Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
What business?
We were getting there. Actually, we just wanted like to know, anything else regarding the acting
Best
of
project.
your life that's coming up.
Best and
you
worst.
should look
Best and
out
worst.
for?
Quickly.
Right now, it's just the episode on the river. I am writing, finally. Finally. I'm writing.
So multi-talented.
Yeah.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, I'm writing. So yeah, I mean the acting guys, please hire me, Claire. Book me. Book me like I can actually act, like for real.
Actually, can act.
She can.
When you look,
Watch the show.
Maranachi, we just need cameras with his act. Because some of us we can act also. Nama can act.
Tina saya patala 100,000 for my tuition. It is what it is.
Hey, we don't have to pay 100K to some of us. You know, we were born with this shit.
Let's get some more.
Ne?
Give me the camera, man.
Guys, book me. I'm not a great auditioner, but I'm a great performer.
Yes. Yeah, I saw. Okay, it wasn't much. It was like 5 minutes of that show that I saw. The Africans. Is this a Sposh?
What?
But I'm not sure when I'm enjoying that Sposh.
God forbid.
Like, she wasn't Sposh. She was playing another character.
I was Zimel.
Yeah, so to hire you, you have a management.
Yes, I have an agency called
agency.
Elysians Management, one of the top agencies in the country.
Repeat that one by so fast.
Elysians Management, ELYSINS Management. I know it's hard, Elysian Management, it's hard. But they're one of the top agencies in the country. They actually just opened another department in Cape Town this week, actually, and they're holding auditions now. So, hey, if you want to audition for them, please do it. Like, they're fantastic. They're fantastic. I feel like such a family. I feel held and protected there, you know, and it's hard to find that in management. It's hard to find management in general as an actor in this country. And management that's good, that's not a scam, that will work for you, that will push for you. So I can call my agent at any time about anything and they'll listen.
Before we move on to the business thing, I mean, I have a gripe. I just have a personal gripe, and I want to get your take on it. I have a gripe with South African television. This repetitive television that we are getting now. It's getting exhausting. Have you seen the television lately? It's a repetition of somebody doing crime, somebody being corrupt. I feel like it's a limited sense of the I feel like the television isn't broad enough. It's not.
To be fair, like I have to defend. I have to defend that because for the stories to relate, it has to be what people in the region know. So in South Africa, those are the topics. And for me personally, I feel like they're getting it right finally after so many years. You know, the camera angles.
Yeah.
You know, well, I'm probably speaking about the elite shows that don't run for non-stop.
So my telenovelas and series.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with the production, the writing, the acting of those, the shooting, even the editing, the special effects. It's not like back in the day, you know, because you see the Ubutagati faded, it's everywhere in the world. But
South African television is young, guys.
it is
It's young. It's young in this country. You know what I mean? We need to give South African entertainment industry grace. We need to give them grace. And also, channel dictates everything.
Yeah.
But okay, to counter that, even if we're telling the same kind of stories, can't we tell them in different ways? Because
channel dictates everything. There are so many writers and producers that submit shows, that submit scripts to channel, and channel will be the one that will decide whether something gets made or not. Because we don't have the kind of funding where we can do things on our own. Yeah. We don't. We need channel backing. We need that because the South African industry is so young. We don't have the kind of universal help that Hollywood has, where the whole country is involved in making this stuff happen. We're still fighting for the basic rights for actors and crew members and things like that. So we still have a long way to go. And honestly, the shows that are coming out now on Netflix that are Blood and Psalms, Blood and Water.
Blood and Psalms is so...
You know what I mean? Scandal, guys. Scandal is so brilliantly written. Yeah. There's so many things that we don't pay attention to because we're so clouded by what America's doing.
Exactly.
We need to know that this is Africa. We need to tell our stories the best way we know how.
And to be fair, America has a lot of repetition. America repeats the same storyline over and over and over again. It's always if it's a war movie, it's always the Russians conquering the Russians, spies, and the terrorists are always Russian or Afghanistan, German.
But it's also propaganda in a way.
But you make a fair point. You make a fair point. Okay, I might be sort of wrong to criticize South African television industry in this way, which is American television in itself. It's sort of repetitive. But I feel okay, this is me personally, I feel like I always place so much, I almost place so much emphasis on South African, anything that is local, on being brilliant. Like I said, it's such a high standard.
Which is good.
I said a high standard. So I feel like when I watch South African television shows, there's a couple that I like. I'm not saying I don't like any. I'm saying I like a lot. But I feel like in some kind of sense, I could probably watch 5 episodes of a show, no? And then I'd watch another one. And you can see it's sort of, it's not the same thing.
It's what sells. Yeah. Guys, channel at the end of the day needs to make money.
Yeah. Maybe that criticism has to fall on not the people writing stories.
On channel.
Move away from traditional media, the television, and go into and go into the internet. Let's say,
and support. Guys, the industry cannot grow without support.
Yeah. And let's go into the Netflix, how like they're going into like the countries and then they're getting the people from the country using their talent, like straight from the production crew up to the actors, you know, like to the writers. It's the people from the region
who will tell the stories authentically.
Exactly.
But if
and you know, like they provide them with the best cameras, the best budget. And like sometimes you even wonder, like watching something on Netflix and it's a South African production, you're like, they shot this at Joburg.
yeah, you can't see like
This is properly shot. Like, I can't believe this is the bridge I
cross all the time.
it becomes hard to believe.
And honestly, I personally believe like South Africa has the best talent in the world.
Yes, I was actually about to say that.
In the world.
Also,
we are highly trained. We are hardworking. The Americans know that. That's why they come and film here. That's why they hire our actors.
even like the scenery of the country, like
It's beautiful.
I'm not talking about like the beautiful
It's
parts.
cinematic.
Yeah, like even like the rough parts, like cool. You know, like you know, like they showcase like Joburg as if like, come on guys. I mean, like they shot a scene at Park Station. That shit was fine.
Right?
The shit was
That shit
fine.
was
Because the backstage more people
They shot
backstage.
a scene at the Union Buildings.
Bruh.
That shit was fire.
Talent,
shot
guys.
a
Like, yo,
scene-
put respect on South African
Bruh, they
entertainers,
blocked-
guys.
They blocked that bridge. I forgot where the bridge goes, but it's like a main bridge in Joburg.
Mandela Bridge.
No, it's not Mandela Bridge. It's like another bridge in Joburg. Like I don't know if it goes into Joburg and then passes, but it's like a famous bridge in Joburg.
I see
They
what
blocked
you're
that bridge. Action scene in that thing, and to think like it was shot by Uti Bag. Like it was.
Please hire me, Tebogo Kelkop. Thank you. Please hire me. Like, I'm a good actor, I promise. I take directions well.
We have to give like the people props, man. I mean, like even David Gow, like bruh, like.
Yo, guys, like, put respect on South African entertainment. Like,
I even forgot, like, there's this guy, man, who acts, and like it was revealed that he's the one who wrote The River, Isibaya.
yes,
He wrote all
yes.
the big shows.
I forgot his name, but yes.
I mean, like, that guy acts, he writes, he directs.
And
It's just
honestly,
one
I feel
man.
like those are the best writers. Those are the best directors who have been in front of the camera.
Yeah,
They know what the director wants. So you know how to communicate it to an actor.
exactly.
You know how to communicate it to a writer because you know what you want to see. You know how it feels to go from beat to beat. You know how it feels to transition from scene to scene. So if a writer can direct and can act, I feel like it's so helpful. It's like a coach, a football coach who can play.
Okay. Making that case, in some other cases, football coaches do not make the best coaches sometimes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, like, as a holistic.
But I understand what you're
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you're able to communicate your vision better because you know what the actor is going through. As a writer, you know what the writer's going through. You know what the director wants to see. You know what the producer wants to see. You know what channel wants to see. So it's such a holistic process because you can speak to an actor the way you need to speak to an actor for them to understand. Because the way my directors would speak to me, like even my theater directors would be like, okay, so I need you from here, this point, I need you to feel this way. And I need the audience to see this. So I need you to open up here and I need you to face this place. And when it comes here, I need you to pump it up because this is the climax. Because they know how to speak to me because they've been in that position. You know, if you've never been in that position, it's hard for you to sort of be like, okay, cool. And then and then you arch here and then great. When you get here, it's fireworks. So I need to, you know what I mean? Like words like that.
Tough talk. This is all the terminology.
It's not even, it's like woo-woo. It's like woo-woo stuff. Like a person sitting outside will be like, what?
Yeah, and
What
I
are
wish
you
that
saying?
for you. And, you know, like, I feel like you can be, like, one of those. You know, like, you can be real stable in this entertainment
We
industry
believe
in
it.
South
We are
Africa.
manifesting
I fucking
it.
believe in you because, like, she does everything, you know, from the back... What were they
Behind the
call it?
scenes.
Behind the scenes work to the front of the scenes. And obviously, you know, like, let me just say, like, I wish like you could be better than Tyler Perry.
We are manifesting that
What?
sport is gonna
Build
do
it, like, obviously, like, you're already on that journey, you know, like, you're acting, you're teaching, you're writing.
I
you're
teach acting as well,
directing.
guys.
please.
I do teach acting,
take
you
a
know.
classes,
Hey,
take a classes.
holla at me.
If I feel a complaint, you just watch is already doing great.
She is doing great, and like
Mangnamali,
you now,
ngicela ipeni
like you've started like companies before, and then
They failed.
and then now you have another one. Please plug us on that one.
So I have a company with 2 associates called Just Crisp. And if you want to find us, we are justcrisp@gmail.com. So we are a videography and photography service company for corporate projects, for corporate events, for behind the scenes content, for storyboarding and yeah, I mean, whatever needs that you have for photography and videography, we will supply, So we've had various clients that have been fantastic. So we will take your vision and make it beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We will make your vision beautiful. So if you have a company that you need us to profile, we'll come through. If your company has a project that they want the world to know about, that they want to market, we will do that. If you have corporate events, we will do that. We'll do recap videos, we'll do scripted videos, we'll do interviews for you, we'll do documentaries. We've had government clients that have been so happy with us, where we've profiled small businesses in Tembisa, in the townships in general, in Gauteng, and we've done some work with Adidas before. We've done work with Smart City. We've done work with the city of Joburg. We've done work with Chimulchong. We've done work with Red Bull. We've done work with Valentine's. We are trying out here.
Jeez, how long is this list?
So guys, please, hey.
I want to say, like, I saw the Adidas campaign, and that shit was fire.
It was dope, though.
That shit was fire.
I replayed it like 6 times. I replayed it like 6 times.
Yeah, and it's all from like in-house even. Like everything was done from in-house.
We directed, we content produced, we shot it, we edited it, even our sound design, from our sound design is all in-house. Like my main DOP is a sound designer, is an editor, is a rapper, is so everything.
And they rolls.
So Duduzi is one of our executive producers as well as a creative director. I'm an executive producer and a creative director as well. So Duduzi Mahlango, you will find him on Instagram as Duma Jaivane because he dances as well. Duma Jaivane.
Next guest on the pod.
Mdu is an MC, is a dancer. He's literally he's one of the best MCs. He's a presenter. He's been on live television presenting shows week in and week out. Like, respect that man.
Yeah, and like you guys have like an insane work ethic. I have to say shout out to
Yes, the other one is Eddie Step, guys. Eddie Step ZA. You'll find him on, and Eddie Step Beats as well. You'll find him on Instagram. He is one of the best DOPs in the country. I will say it today. He is one of the best DOPs and editors in it's not just because he's my partner. Yeah. I genuinely believe that man's vision and passion and love set him out from the rest. I mean, he's one of Sports Scene's main content producers, for their shows. I mean,
he has my blood in him. Man.
Listen, guys. Yo, like my team. We have each other. Whoever short falls wherever, like we will pick up. Like we trauma bonded. It's so funny, but it's an inside joke. We trauma bonded, but the company that we're building and the beliefs that we have from people and the people that we've worked with, our clients are happy, our referrals are happy, we are happy, we push each other and we work so hard. We work hard. We do not sleep.
Yeah.
We work hard.
7 or 8 o'clock ekuseni umuntu okhona uyaphuma khangana naye ngo-10 o'clock ebusuku khana ngene ngithi ndoda ubuya athi sibuyoshoot umbona nasebusweni uthi into engikhathalele.
She's always on the move.
Yeah.
Another thing,
these guys are like the Cubs are the smalls of video and photography.
Manje ubani okay context ubani ovusa bani angisho bathi uCubs noma podcast angazi ubani ovusa bani.
I wake everyone up. You know me, I'm an early bird.
But you know, Smosh has always been like the mother
Yeah.
of any
Yeah.
group she enters.
Yeah.
I'm
I hold everyone accountable. They know.
And that's the question important. Question important. Manje, Nat, semaphore.
Eish, hectic. We have to speak to Mtuba Jaiva.
No, actually, all financial situations go through me.
It's true.
Just tell us, Bosch, because this podcast is definitely gonna elevate. Man's from the West. So go for that now.
Guys, I'll say this, ne? The cheapest video we've ever charged for 1 minute was
It's true.
yeah, that's the cheapest.
For what minute?
1 minute.
Funama coins.
Yeah, no, not this is an.
But also that depends on what kind of client you are and what kind of work you want. If you're a small business, you need us to profile your business. So guys, so go and say like
Still pro bono.
but other things,
We just got banned.
guys, holla at me. Hey, request for quotation. I will send it to you. We're available.
Shout out to Chris Pink.
Just Chris. We rebranded.
Just Chris.
We are
Just
Just Chris.
Corporation.
We are Just Chris. Yeah, guys, thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I'm so proud of you, Muzi, for finally doing it. You've been talking about it for so long.
Everything I say, everybody's saying it. I'm the goat.
You're the almighty man.
Yeah, man. No, I just up and decided one day. You know what?
Just do it, guys. If you're gonna do anything, just start.
Yeah.
You will never have enough resources, enough money, enough time. Just
Use what
start.
you have. And like people like overlook this thing of using what you have.
Just start.
Using
Vince.
what we have, but
Using what you have.
yeah, but going back to us.
Use what you have.
But it's not happening.
Basically, you have a phone. If you have a phone.
Yeah, the first episode Muzi recorded on his phone, literally on his phone, no editing, no nothing.
Thank you, Dad. Your
There's
library.
free internet in this in
Hambe
the
your library,
township
hambe
now,
your parking.
brother.
Bolegi phone. Bolega, you have friends.
Ngiyamlanda umlefafa ngiyamkokotela mina ezikenzakalani ngicela ungiboleke ifoni.
Your friend, you have friends, you have Instagram. I'm sorry, if you have Instagram, you have no excuses. If you have Instagram, you have no excuses.
You guys are busy on Pornhub, but you're busy asking what?
I mean, if you can download a BBW, you can
Yeah, we
do
went there.
this.
Yeah, and you're busy downloading pirated songs, you know,
How?
instead of
How do
uploading.
you know it? How do you know?
I've known you for 30 years.
Which is fine.
You know, like you might, or like other people might like not take notice, or you feel like people don't take notice of what you do, but Brian, like people notice.
We see it.
They just don't want to congratulate, or they just don't want to clap. Yeah, and they're like
akayelanga esikolweni asikhulume naleyo akayelanga esikolweni ufundisa abantwana abancane bafundisa
I know the podcast.
Guys, these are the people that call my friends. These are the people who are going to be speaking at my funeral.
abantwana bakho esikolweni sakasibongile
crazy. This is how it is all the time. Even at funerals, like nobody's being serious at a funeral.
asikhulume iqiniso usamukelisiwe uzoya thuthuka
She would be lucky to have me.
Yeah.
She should.
She should.
She should.
Some
come.
girls see what-
Actually, everyone who has
Bring
a
your
child,
kids, guys.
They should.
Your kids are going to twang. Today, I was teaching my kids not to say poem.
Yeah.
It's like a poem.
Issue.
Yes, they're like, okay, ma'am.
ma'am.
No, it's not necessary. But my thing is, unfortunately, the way you speak will open opportunities for you. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's the world we live in.
Facts.
That is the world we live in. You could have
Afrikaans uyafundisa lapho.
no, shame. I won't stress my kids that much.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to. Because amakhampani.
Portugal butter. It's mobile, that thing. You can find it in the kitchen.
Wow. I don't know what ad that was, but it was brilliant. That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Oh, the accent is there.
But I'm so glad that even as a society, we're moving away from the twang. We're moving away from that meaning something.
Yeah.
You know, because immediately when you have a twang or you don't have like an African accent, it was seen as, oh, you're smarter, you're better, you know. And it's like, have you heard people from England speak? Exactly. Like the accent is great, but the English,
But the
not
English
so
is
much.
not so much. Yeah.
Okay, no, but
so much.
Is the England? I don't know speaking proper English.
It depends where in England. There's posh, there's, you know, Cockney, it's different.
But guys, to make a practical to make a practical example, man, the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, is fluent in English. You know what he chooses to speak? Russian.
Yeah, bo.
He's intelligent, very, very intelligent man. But most of the time, he speaks Russian.
Because he's speaking to his people.
Exactly.
And he has the power.
He has the power. What matters?
I was struggling via petrol because of one man.
One man.
You know what was funny? Guys, to show you like how egotistical like Europe is, they were like, we're gonna sanction you, but we still want your oil. Like, it's wrong. How did you think that was gonna work? It's like, how? And Putin was just like, oh, okay, good luck with the oil.
In the oil. As it's sunflower oil. You take
I ain't gonna say.
No, as good men.
Olive oil.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about crude oil? Are we talking about crude oil? Are we talking about cooking oil?
Full context, man.
Crude oil.
Yeah.
Russia. That's where we get our oil.
That's why expensive, guys.
Guys, I'm sorry. Hi, Putin. Hi, I love you. You're great. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say anything. I'm terrified of you.
That nigga is terrifying you.
I'm terrified of you.
Hey, dog, I don't blame, like, obviously, our president is not great, but I don't blame him for folding, you know.
I am
I
fair
don't blame him for folding, bro, because things were worse, bro. Like, food was getting ridiculous.
Why, man?
It was...
Wine.
Food was getting ridiculous, and, you know, like, hey, bro, we were struggling.
You have to look out for your people.
I was struggling, bro. I mean, why are we paying 26 rand for a liter of petrol?
I don't even have a car when I'm struggling. I just refuse to take taxis. Like, me being bougie,
everything went high, and like,
it's really hurt me.
petrol is going up, Uber is going up.
You don't get their coupon.
Ngicela ningithengele imoto Nkosi yami ingane zami zidinga imoto mani ngasinika i-H1 as ama you know abantu abenza funding sicela i-H1 for ingane zami sizoya ematripini ngizobalanda emakhaya makuni imvula. You know what I mean?
Nyangena, this other thing is getting the checkers and you pick 5 liter fish oil. Zibi is fish oil.
That's a David order.
Yeah, very fish oil. Yeah, from the way
fish oil.
Because they get you
David order. David order. I'm fancy fish oil. David order.
No more to say this is some extra. It can't extra savings.
Subscription on Netflix.
This one like 5 liter. I just in a car has been I think batak now. I think it batak.
Bro, I've never saved oil. Like, that's terrible of me to say. I was wasteful. But usually, like, if I deep fry something, I, you know, throw the oil. Now I have a job. I have a job. You know what I mean? You know what it is. I was just like, oh, no. I was too lazy to, you know, try and save it. No. Now I have a job. Of oil, of used oil. I'm like,
and don't come at us with, you know, that scientific, what knowledge, doctor knowledge, cholesterol level.
We are not on your level.
Sound
We are in South Africa.
No, you know, a friend of mine made me realize that like we're poor. Shame. He was the other day, like I was telling him about my stresses about my company and this and this. And he was like, oh no, friend, you're not depressed, you're poor. And I was like, oh,
It's true.
You just need
Let
money.
that sink in. For
that is true.
Yeah, we just need money.
You're not depressed, you're poor.
You need the best emphasis last week. We need money.
That's all it is.
Money.
That's
Money.
honestly, you know, and I was like, you know what, friend, you're right. Yes, I have my own mental issues, but like the main issue is that I don't have money. You know, it is unfortunate. It is. I mean, I'm getting to a point where I can't, even with my kids, you know, because there's so much on my mind. I can't be fully present with them because I'm thinking about, oh, I need this. I have no money coming in. How am I going to make this? How am I going to buy this? What do I need? You know, and it is. But my kids aren't even like that. Doesn't matter to them. That doesn't even cross their mind. It doesn't. And I feel like it's such a therapeutic experience for me because with them, I remember how much my worries mean nothing. They're so small. In their eyes, they're just like, but ma'am, you're here.
That's all that matters.
Like, you're here.
Kids need attention.
Like, they don't care. And it's literally like, okay, guys, I want us to plan something. I want us to do this. But I'm not sure if we have money. They're like, okay, ma'am, like, mas give mama turandi. And man is okay. And I'm like, guys.
Imagine this thing.
I want to bakira mali.
I don't know. No, but like the fact that
You see that, like, your energy, even though you're not directly, like, telling them what to think, but like your energy is rubbing off
Of
like,
them.
the thing of course, okay, here's a problem,
This
but then let's
episode.
not focus on the problem. Let's
Please,
find the
the
solution. So now, when you are coming with the problem, like, okay, the solution is, you know,
you know, a few scissors went missing, and my kids don't steal. Like, that's one thing I am very, very proud of. My kids don't steal.
Are they white?
Wow.
Guys, it's just here to throw jokes.
Wow.
It's just here to throw jokes. Jokes in between. So I'm mind.
So, like, sometimes we'd have guests. We'd have kids that have never been in our class before. Maybe we had, like, an exciting project, so obviously it would attract new kids. And, like, things would go missing in the class, which never happens. So there was a time where 8 scissors went missing because obviously we're in a classroom, an actual classroom that's being used. And 8 scissors from the grade 1s got lost. I sat them all down and I was like, this cannot happen. That's not something we do. We do not steal. It's disgusting. It's shameful. We don't do it. And all of them were like, but ma'am, like, it's not us. Like, my usual kids were like, we never steal. You could literally leave 5 of your phones, 3,000 rand on the floor, and they'll come and be like, ma'am, you know, like, my kids are so sweet, you know. So the fact, they were so embarrassed on behalf of the extra kids that we had that they collected money themselves to replace the grade 1's scissors. They went home and got other scissors because they were like, this is not who we are.
yeah, like redeem, like, like even if people paint you in a bad way, but like show them that it wasn't you. Redeem yourself.
Redeem yourselves. And my kids are so that, like, they never want to be painted as kids that don't care or kids that don't try, or because every time they're like, I'm like, are you not trying? Are you giving up? They're like, no. Immediately they're like, no, I'm not trying. Of course I'm going to try. You know, so immediately, like, they have pride in trying and pride in failure.
So when you put it like, are you giving up? They're like,
Ooh,
giving up.
giving up?
Did they teach me to give up?
Nah,
Fuck
I don't give up.
IG, and like if you see these clips, these videos, you will see which they say everything with their chest.
Yeah, like
Literally,
Say with your chest.
yo, guys, my kids have confidence.
Say with your chest.
My kids have confidence.
Let me just put an example up there. Like, we didn't have this program growing up, and then like They just say, yo, shy unprepared speech or just write a speech, you present it next week. The fear you felt standing in front of the class, and like you're seeing these kids do it every Saturday, standing in front of their peers, and reading their stories out loud, reading their poems. You know, there was unprepared reading at some point, and they did it flawlessly as if like they read this book before. Come on.
But you know what?
Put some respect on them.
Put some respect on my kids.
Dog. But you know what it's gonna do for those kids? It's just gonna. Okay, of course everything is gonna go back to what we were talking, but because everything, I like to say everything is connected. These kids will now have a general application of like they'll have confidence throughout anything they do. So whether or not it's reading, or they're trying out a sport, or they're trying out maybe a subject, or in anything that they attempt to do, they're gonna have the confidence to do it because their teacher told them to prepare. She was patient with them. She taught them so many things, and now they learn those things. Okay, if I'm gonna learn something, I need to be patient with myself. I need to believe that I can do it. So it instills like a value that I don't think too many human beings have. Not many human beings have the value of, if I do this, and this is the result that I will get.
And we might be seeing like the first generation of black people building together. Because like black people don't build.
They don't.
No,
Like,
and
we
we're a
don't.
family. Like my kids are such a family.
Yeah, like-
they have little groups, even like outside of my thing. They have groups that help each other with homework and stuff. Because my subject is not subject based. My program is not subject based. So things like mathematics. Like I tell my kids, like, listen, I'm math dumb. Like I cannot help you with your maths. But
Which math?
but like Kutlano in your program can help you, and Uzintle, who's in grade 9, can help you, and Ustembile can help you. So they'll form groups and be like, okay, Simile can, and they'll ask, okay, ma'am, today, like, ma'am, I was really struggling with this homework. Can I go sit with Kutlano and ask her? I'm like, go ahead. We can literally not have class that day and focus on her maths homework as a group.
Imagine black people
Guys,
helping
sports,
each other.
you know what I think
First
this
of
is.
its kind. Hopefully not the last.
It won't be. I don't think it will be. Because I think this is probably the most holistic way you can actually teach by not having subjects. I think it's the most holistic way you can actually.
So school, no, ukufundisa mele esigelo kanjani?
Yeah, to be an actual teacher, yes, you have. Like, I'm not an actual teacher, guys. Please get that straight. I did not study teaching. None of that. It was purely from passion, especially from my niece, who was heavily bullied because she wanted to read, she wanted to learn. So I wanted to create a space where it was cool to be a nerd. It was cool to love books. It was cool to want to know more. So this program literally started because I had a niece who didn't have a platform or a space where it was safe for her to be herself. So I created the program for her. And she's in grade 9. I started with her when she was in grade 3.
Oh, geez, that's a long time ago.
She's in grade 9 today.
6 is.
She's tall, yeah.
So
You're closing a decade soon.
Yeah.
so ma
You don't need a qualification. You need, what do they call, an honorable degree? Of course, doctor. Dr. Lenah Sibisi.
yeah, you so ma uthini ngala kuthisha bamanje? Because my iyakhulunywa abantu bathi yazini bathathe baba uthisha for content. Khona le teacher lo I think wakuphi? KZN. But isilungisa kasimanga kahle.
No, but I don't think it's necessarily about this long program. I think what is
Inibhodi yakhe imile.
Hayibo. Manje mina yenze la ishiye endlini ibhodi yakhe.
akakwazi ukuyishe kanjani
Ulenze njani?
umzimba wakhe.
Hayibo.
Ulivo futhini kanti?
No, listen, guys. I mean, we can critique our teachers as much as we like. Yes. And yes, there are rotten potatoes everywhere. There are, but the system in itself is so flawed, is so old.
And so rigid.
Like, it doesn't support teachers. It doesn't support the kids. It's not an environment where kids can flourish. It's about results. It's about academics. It's about paperwork. we have lost the art of trying to teach kids the fundamentals of learning: how to read, how to write, how to count, how to speak. Teachers literally do not have the time or the capacity to teach kids the basic things. And if kids fail to read, to write, to speak, and to count, they will fail forever. If you cannot do those basic things, there is no way you are going to pass in anything. If you cannot read, you cannot understand. Then how do you move forward? It's so unfortunate that our kids are stuck, especially in the township, in a system where they will fail and nobody will help them. There are kids that are special needs, even in the school that I teach, but are failed by this district. They are failed by this district because there are no other avenues for them. There's no schools that will cater to their needs. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
No, yes.
No.
I can't edit this out. Come on.
Guys, you can't edit this out. You need
I have to edit this part out. Then we now.
Have you realized we take last funda khona. Sifuna nabantu abengekho right. Abantu kumele sifunde nabo. Uyambona ukuthi lo akho right. Amelanga afunde la. Ara sinaye tasingeliwa.
uzokhohlwa lento eqeda ukukhululeka manje.
Mara siya experience la lento. Indlela ezibhani.
Yeah.
Uyambona ukuthi lo muntu lona akumina ngabe kule class le like lesikela lesi. Mela kwele skele special for yena. Uyayithola awuthembi. Iskele abantu abaslow.
Laughing is justified.
Uyayithola. Lo muntu lona ubuslow bakhe. Mela kwelesa sikolo lesiya. Marula nami same class nami. Yayibona ufunda science nami. Ngeke ayibambe simwini njengoba mina ngibamba omunye umuntu ayibambe yayithola.
Noma uyazokala.
Uyayibona.
Behleke siphuma.
Omunye ulimele ngokomqondo uyabo ukuthi lona.
And it's sad, guys. Like, it's sad.
Right.
She's doing a good job because special needs.
Special needs. Learning disabilities.
It's not your fault.
No, like I've encountered kids that have learning disabilities, and I am in no way equipped to help these children. I don't have the tools to help these children. And it's so unfortunate because they get lost in a system that cannot help them.
And like they want to
learn.
Want to try. I had
this little boy, I won't say his name, but he was so sweet. And he even stopped coming. Because I just feel like he also feels like he's being left behind, you know? Because I'm also just one person. But this boy is in grade 7. He cannot write. He can't write, he can't read. How is he in grade 7? What is happening in the system?
Can read.
Where at grade 7,
he needs special.
He needs special, and he's smart. He can draw fantastically. He just cannot read and he cannot write. How is he in grade 7, guys?
And like I also have to say, like it could be abazali don't want to take the kid out because like
they don't want to admit.
There's this mockery made of Ithemi Nkosi, and Ithemi Nkosi is doing great work for these kids that need attention. You understand? But like just because Ithemi Nkosi is in the hood. And then people are mocking it.
And it's been painted as abantwana abahlanyayo. And it's not.
These people are abahlanyayo.
They have special needs.
But let me put this to you. Okay. Now, this kid probably has to suffer because the parents, somehow. Don't you think the parents should do what's best for the kid?
The parents also, like, the thing is, parents can't do that in isolation. Because sometimes parents don't know. You know? So they'll send them to a school. And the teachers will notice, good to know, man, there's something going on. They will address the districts. The districts will then do an assessment and tell the school they have to do an assessment. When they do an assessment, guys, you know how much backlog there is in this country in every institution in general?
Every department they should.
You know, so they also now need to find a place where they'll take this kid for an assessment, a place that's free, a place that's close. Take this kid for an assessment, then find them a spot in the special needs school. How many years has passed for that process to happen?
Mntana sakanangaki manje?
And there's a new rule. I need to see a kid can't repeat a same phase. So if you're in foundation phase and you fail in grade 1, you can't fail grade 2 and grade 3.
They have to pass.
They have to pass you.
So
So it's
also
the problem of
The system is the
education
program.
department.
Yes.
what they're basically doing, they're basically saying, dude, you failed, but you have to move your.
We can't do anything about
we
it.
can't do anything.
We
The-
can't
the
fail
way
you
it's
in grade
tailored-
1 3 times.
So the way it's tailored, it's not tailored with you. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna find out what you're actually good at and what you're actually terrible at. And what you're actually terrible at, we want to make you better at that, and we want to make you better at what you're actually good at. We're gonna focus. They don't do that. So I feel like for most kids, they feel like. Also, it goes back to most kids don't have an out. They don't. Unfortunately, they
It's a
don't.
cycle, a vicious cycle.
A vicious.
They'll drop out of school, they'll
They
turn to
don't.
drugs, they'll turn into criminals, they'll give birth to kids that cannot read, they cannot write, they'll turn to drugs, they'll drop out of school.
So
Like,
now it goes back to
Tebayibona.
so now it goes back to holding the government accountable.
So bele government why?
It goes back to
Well,
it goes back
it
to
actually does. Like I mean, like what we're basically saying is that we can't always like blame the government like for like us, Esibadala, for not working and trying. Like we can't always depend on the government. But when it comes to like the fundamentals, we have to
blame the
blame the
government.
government because like these government schools we're talking about, every school in the hood, I'd like to think it's a government school.
Yeah,
And so if the teacher notices and they address, you know, they follow the procedure and it gets stuck in the Department of
Someone
Education,
like
then the problem is there.
backlog about 2
Yeah,
months,
'cause, like,
3 months.
Now they have to address the
Years.
parents, and then there has to be that transfer to grand from to get, you see. So it's like, and this is government now. It's not like you're paying cash.
Yeah.
Because it's what I was also saying. If kids don't have a sort of like a way out, that special kid that we're probably talking about, that kid could probably invent the next thing that could sort of like make humanity better. I said it, probably the entire continent of Africa better. But just because Eskela, they didn't attend to their needs. We're talking okay, in a particular case, there's a special way you need to teach the kid. But them in themselves, they have a particular talent that if they find a specific person who can sort of like hone that talent and turn it into something that can actually make them invent something that's so brilliant that it changes the entire course of how humanity is supposed to go forward.
and I mean, these special schools have therapists and psychologists and teachers that are trained specifically to work with special needs kids. I have taught drama. I've taught special needs kids with drama. I've been in a special needs school. I've taught kids with autism, with a cerebral palsy, with deaf, who are blind. I've taught kids like that. I'm not speaking from thin air. I've in facilities that were high end where their disability was the minimum problem.
That's a great point you bring up, actually. So, like, we need like therapists, we need psychologists to get involved with your program. You know, like even if, because like there's a lot of trauma in the township. So, like, we need the therapist, the psychologist, and whatever illegist.
I'm just
Yes, we do have those in the community.
We do have in the township,
Yeah,
actually.
we do. Even
you know,
like Chafeni Clinic, they
you understand? So we need them to come speak to Labantala. We need to get social workers involved. With Bazo,
I need
you know,
help.
So like, so
Basically, Lenah Sibisi needs help,
feel
guys.
like-
She needs help. guys.
I feel like it's not literally isikole kahle kahle. Me at home, talking from experience, we had a special needs kid at home, like wafunda eTutuga. There was one teacher, ne? She was flourishing, dog. She was flourishing, ne? Because utisha wake, like she gave her the care and the attention she needed. And she was not a special needs teacher. She was a normal teacher. But if you want a teacher, they're gonna have that care and attention to every pupil abanabo. It doesn't matter whether you're a special needs kid or kanjani. Each and every kid is gonna flourish. Like the minute you move from Etutuga to another school, and akatholanga the same teacher who was giving her that care and attention ebekayithola from the previous teacher, it was miserable. So I feel like each and every teacher, if uzonika each and every student that special care and need, akayidingayo, each and every kid, whether she's a normal kid or a special needs kid, they're gonna flourish. Regardless, they're definitely gonna flourish.
But
I'm talking from experience.
I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But our teachers do not have the capacity.
Yeah, 'cause
There's
like-
45 kids in one class. You have 8 hours.
Clearly, that teacher did have. Cause
Yeah,
clearly that
they
the
did,
teacher
but like
did have.
the thing, like we're saying, ukuthi vele, like the teacher will identify, but the backlog prevents ukuthi okay, lo mntana loyo kumele aphume thuthuka mhlambe ayethemba inkosi
So, like,
to get the help.
And also, she can't focus on just one student. She has
Yeah.
44 other students.
Because like
Maybe that's another
for
thing.
example, lo teacher loyo waku grade 3. The minute I'm over to grade 4, no grade 4, just ufuna nje yena ukudlulisa. You understand ukudlulisa.
Maybe
ukuthi
Yeah,
umsebenzi
it's what I'm saying. With abanye botishera,
Nah, but
They have that care. No,
But
abanye teachers, they have that care.
Like
Yeah.
no more classini backbone with okay, only far from the flop nyana. Then when we are kind of special need so kuya ngakuthi wena mara kithi sithi umntwana obvious umntwana nyoko understand.
And you know what? Like, for me, I understand, guys. I'm in the teaching system. I'm in the world. I see it. This is what I live with all the time, you know? And our teachers, there are teachers who are lazy, just in every other profession.
Dude.
There's policemen who are lazy. There's government officials that are lazy. You know what I mean? But I refuse to believe that it's just the teachers who are unwilling to help. They are under-resourced, guys. There's barely space to breathe in those classrooms. Imagine every day for 9 hours a day, 45 children every single day who have their own problems, who are hungry, who are tired, who are scared, who don't know how to read, who don't know how to write, who are in a system that doesn't care, with one teacher who cares out of the 15.
You can't, guys.
How is she supposed to cope?
Thina esikolweni besi-60 eklasini eliwa ngazamadesk ayingakho amatafula ayingakho
Ngihlala nga-2-2
iy'tulo zingaki
Imagine.
Ngihlala nga-2-2
ama-textbook ayingaki
30 tables.
Imagine.
Ngihlala nga-2-2 now.
siya nga-2-2 uyayibona
Sharing a textbook.
Share
Need
textbook
3.
four.
Imagine.
So, yeah, so
lo kumele ahambe naye endlini abuye naye mina ngihambe naye omunye abuye naye
Imagine.
Singa-
Ngathi sisese in apartheid.
Uyayibona? Lapho ngokumconda asifani khona slow khona fast khona yokho right khona obhema insango
asiwazi insango ukuthi ungenaphi asimazi insango ukuthi ungenaphi but
I saw it coming. The whipper I saw it coming.
siri ngiyayibona khona obhema insango ngeke ayibambe obhema insango
Mina can I say ukuthi mangithi high school lo bekabhema insango. Uye mina besipusha isikole.
when push isikolo
Exactly, mina
kanje
naye lo bhema insango besipusha
but
isikole.
no fundamental
mara lawe bahlini kakhulu
I think i-point yafuna ukwenza ulefa ne I think Lefa is trying to say ukuthi
Why?
decrease the ratio of teacher to learners. First of all, let's start with that because
Build more schools. Stop building malls. Build schools, build hospitals, build clinics, build institutions that are there to help the community. We're already black, we're already poor, we're already scared, we're already traumatized. Build facilities that are there to help us.
We don't need most.
We don't need more malls. Build schools, businesses.
So you see, this whole thing goes back to government.
Exactly.
Ukuthi like provide the resources for the schools, provide the furniture. Abantwana bayekela itulo mabangena eklasini. Like
Fundamental
manje-
stuff. Imagine.
You know that there's this thing which like umntana waseklasini misses like almost half the class because of uhambile kwelinye class but ayofuna
Uyofuna isitulo.
that's unoccupied. Mina bona lesitulo lesingule 15 minutes for ukuthi let's just for example the lesson is like 30 minutes. So I'm still half the lesson because uyofuna isitulo. That's
I mean,
chair.
I have a niece who honestly, I feel like she is one of the most brilliant kids I know. And the reason I started Ikanyisa Books Foundation, and she is struggling in high school because she doesn't have the kind of vigorous teachers that she needs to grow her gift. Because she's the kid who I've been shoving books down her throat since she could open her eyes. She's the kind of kid who I've pushed her to levels that probably I shouldn't have, because I am not her mom. You know, I've pushed her to work harder, to try more, to, you know, even when she fails something, she's always scared to be like, I don't know how to tell you because I didn't do well. And so I'm like, it's okay. We failed today, but tomorrow we're going to pass because we're going to work at this. She does not, I even wanted to move her from the school. I even got permission to move her from a school to a different school. I worked with the principal there because she's in a school where a teacher will be missing for 2 months. They have no teacher for a subject. 2 months.
And we have qualified teachers.
We as fundisa physics. How? How are you supposed, how is this child who pushes herself more than the normal kid, because I have taught her that she is special, she is great, she will be successful and no one can stop her. And she is accountable and responsible for her life. I have taught her that since birth. This kid who works her ass off, how is she supposed to flourish in varsity if she cannot get a maths teacher for 2 months? If she doesn't have a physics teacher for 6 months? If her, who works her ass off in that way, imagine the kid who's an average kid.
And like 6 months in school term, like we're not talking the year. Like we're not talking like calendar year. School calendar.
Academic year.
Academic
That's the
year.
whole year though.
Like 6 months is too much. Like we're minusing on a holiday and
That's the whole year basically though.
This is what we're dealing with.
Like the whole year. Because like if we count, we would say how many days in a week and the month, you know, like they go to school.
And even that, I mean, remember we had COVID, right? So it was 2 years without school. So our kids are emotionally and mentally 2 years behind. There's 2 years without interaction.
And when the minute they get back into a classroom, it has to be like fast paced.
We're trying to catch up.
And like not everybody is catching, like Asbam is talking of fun.
I mean, there's a company that I work for that does study skills for schools, right? So I've been to every kind of school, from the lowest income to the highest incomes. And even when I go there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to present a seminar, even then the teachers themselves will be like, okay, these are grade 9s, but mentally they're grade 7s because they missed 2 years of school. They missed 2 years of interaction, of socialization. So remember that, yes, you are teaching this at this level, but I also need to remember that these kids weren't interacting with humans outside of their family for 2 years. Because the brain is a muscle, you need to exercise it. You need to remember how to learn.
Okay, but like in the hood, we know very like Mark Tiwa, school nobody's picking up a book, nobody's studying, especially like the young kids.
But then again, there's no emphasis on that. I think it goes back to how parents interact with their kids who are trying to learn how the world works. When you're 4, 5, 6, and you start asking your parents questions, why is the sky blue? Your parents is like,
self-actualization.
Exactly. So with that, okay, damn it. Abati, okay, I missed school. Okay, they're happy they missed school. But they're not saying, you know what? Maybe for like an hour, I should probably read a book. I should probably read a book or probably do some maths or something. Because they grew an interest, because the people that raised them helped them grow an interest in what they want to do. They have a grow an interest in math or science or English or just reading in general.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because like the parents, abantwana abaziku program yakasbosh, like the parents there like are very supportive of this thing. They're like, yo, thank you for like uthatha abantwana bethu on weekends and teaching them like siyayibona ukuthi okay there's improvement in this thing. So like abazali bakhona ba supportive. And that is not very rare because like we all know where like reading is like
It's a sort of compensation.
education is a taboo. Yes, but it's but like when you get educated, get the information, it's now they use it against you.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like it's insecurity from a lot of our parents, you know, because they don't know themselves.
But then now that's the fear of which like abazali bethu are so afraid that we're gonna be better than them. Like they don't want us to be better than them.
But it's strange. No, I find it particularly strange. It's very ironic. You want your kids to be better, but you don't want them to be better at the same time. What are you doing?
I don't think it's that. I think our parents only know how to garner respect through fear or being better. We've never taught how to garner respect from mutual respect.
Yeah.
My kids don't respect me because they're afraid of me. My kids are not scared of me at all. If my kids can ask me, Ma'am, do you have a boyfriend? Do you think those people are scared of me?
No, they don't.
Those kids are not afraid of me at all.
This is the thing that is mostly highlighted which I'm 2000 don't have fear. And like we looking at it as
no, it's not even that.
Thina siya project ukuthi like yo I wish
Because
like there was a video of like intwana lapha esilungwini parking, you know,
Yes,
like, it's like an old
yes.
video. And like this kid is challenging the old white man. Ukumtshela like no, we have rights and this and this and this and this and that. But like the thing was like it took black people by shock with
yeah,
I understand what like lento apartheid like abazali bethu, and it's not their fault, it's the fault of the system, you understand? So now like labantu laba like abomamethu thina like angithi our grandfathers, our grandparents are like shocked, but okay, our parents are like damn, like because they had apartheid for a short time as well, so they're like reflecting with
My dad.
they're like reflecting
White bags. Oh, my phone. I think that's what I'm hearing. My phone's always on vibrates, guys. So it doesn't ring, it just vibrates. So I know the vibration.
So like they're like, oh, I'm a 2000, like you know, like he. It's cut, but when it's when it's really not. You understand? You're only as old as you want to be.
Exactly.
And I think for me, like being raised by my mom, who had like a grade 11 education herself, but I was raised by very confident women who taught me to be confident. And because of the confidence they instilled in me, I was able to challenge them in certain things. And they never felt less than because they were confident in themselves. No. It was, oh, okay, cool. No, let's explain this. Why? Let's explain why you're challenging this, you know? And I learned, I was afraid of my grandmother, but I had respect for her first and foremost. And above all, she always taught me, like, your questions, you ask them to me. Don't ask your friends because they don't know shit. Don't ask your neighbors because they don't know shit. You ask me. If you ever slip up, I remember the first sex talk I had with my grandmother. She was like, my baby, if you ever slip up and you ever think there's ever an issue, come here. I am the person who will save you from every situation you will ever have. Me. Your friend will not. The neighbor will not. Whoever says me. Because I want you alive. So I will make sure you live. And I will make sure that whatever decision you make, I will be here to hold you. So I feel like that upbringing in myself, I'm able to go to my kids with humility and with confidence and be like, I don't know everything, my babe. We don't know everything, but let's learn together.
But okay, just to quote Albert Einstein, he says that the day you stop learning is the day you die. To quote him. So the day you stop learning is the day you die. So, but to add on to what she's saying, my father is a man of action. He's a man of few words, he's a man of action. So I think there was a particular instance where I got a group video call from you guys.
Shout out to all the boys who grew up with fathers.
Hey!
No problem. So there was an instance where police, I think they wanted somebody to threaten it, I think, right? And me sort of, I don't know if I'm sort of standing up to the police it seemed alien to because people wanted to like infringe on my rights. ibe ngiyawazi ngiyawazi ama-rights wami ngeke ukuthi uzofika ekhaya uzofuna ukungena. Do you have a work and you don't have a work?
You cannot enter my
And you
premises.
cannot tell me to go into my house ngaphandle. Abanye abantu bama ngaphandle. You're telling me specifically to go into my house. I'm not going to go into my house. I'm not. So people view that, but people view that as you. I don't know but it's not even that. It's you recognizing what you can stand up to authority. So my dad told me, dude, you do something that is right. If you feel there's an injustice,
Speak.
you speak about it. You didn't need to tell me anything.
I'm so glad you say that, because even in conflicts that I've had in school that involved authority members, you know, because my mother knew what kind of child I was.
Yeah.
My mother knew me like the back of her hand. She knows what kind of behavior, you know, I would admit at school. So she would be like, if my teacher called her and was like, Lena's being disrespectful about A, B, and C, my mom would be like, what happened? My mom's not gonna call me and be like, what happened? No, this and this happened. How did she respond? No, she said this. Okay, I'll speak to her. And then my mom will ask me, baby, but say so. And then I'll explain, nah, ma, this and this and this and this happened. And you felt, no, in that moment, I didn't feel like it was fair, so I had to stand up. She was like, okay, understand. That was her talk. It wasn't, when it's going, but
But I feel like the automatic response we have to our kids is not trusting them.
Because you don't know them. Our parents don't spend time with us.
They don't.
Brother, can I say something to
Yeah,
you
of course,
guys
of course,
now,
of course.
sister?
You can-
You know what
yeah.
happens, ne? When as an African, no Mdomyan, by South Africa, ne? Once ukhuluma namaphoyisa, isilungu or security, you've got attitude. So you must take them to school, but understand it, right? Sharp. By you reacting, awuli nabo, umjali wefila ngakhona.
Sure.
So the more ukhuluma isilungu, ubona ngathi wena you think you're smarter than him, you understand?
Attentions are escalated. Sure.
When I want to ukhuluma nephoyisa isilungu, uyolala. Security, clinic.
Yeah.
What's that?
Taxi driver.
Same thing. Hayi futhi ungalinge. Ungalinge.
What my sister? What did you say?
Yeah.
No, $100 yakho nazo ke out. So
Yeah.
You know, I loved what my mom said. My mom said, I took you to school to have a voice that I was afraid to have. I took you to school to learn English so you can teach me to not be afraid to speak my mind. My mom learned English through us. She didn't go to school learning English, no. She learned it through me, because I was the
That's
kid.
profound, though.
I was the kid who came home and was like, Mom, you have to sit there because I have to read. And she's like, I'm getting night shifts. I was like, Mom, you have to sit there because I have to read.
By the way, usiboshe namanje isilungu usikhuluma unprovoked ehlele nathi.
Wow.
Sikhuluma isiZulu unprovoked. ukhuluma
Like I
isiLungu.
have to say, like shout outs, okay, fair, like you know, like shout out to like our Majalo, because like when I used to read with the belt thanks to me, because obviously like my first 3 years when I looked shit, and then after that, after my like already totally better job, better offer, like, promotion. Then she's like, okay, model C.
Yeah.
But then like I got there, I'm like saying, hey, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, this is Pocha the Lemonade. My entire life was in the luggage.
So
Was in the luggage.
So like, me being shy for level, this kid, like sitting cool. So like, reading Islung, even Nochal was like hard. You understand? And like, then dining room, Bandililana. You're allowed to get it wrong. Right now, and it's imagine we're learning it. You understand? We read it until you fluently look at the words and you know how to pronounce the words and how to read it fluently.
Yeah.
But then tomorrow, I'm not obvious you can't read all the pages.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we start from scratch.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to read like let's just say page 1 and page 2 today. Tomorrow we have to reach page 3 and page 4. But because of like Tina like as when I was so we have to start from page 1. And like teacher obvious you get to class and malapaya pam teacher you read those pages. So like hey
brother, can I say something? How did they teach you? Mina bangifundise kanjani? NgesiZulu. They used to break the words up. Ukuthi lo castle Ngizona. You break yes bengifunda ngesizulu kuqala.
Yeah.
Ngalizazi libe right. Le nto ikhuluma ibhandile la.
Yeah.
Le.
Yeah.
Le.
But that's how you teach.
You know, like,
It's like
you
sounding
break
it
it.
out. You,
The funde wrong, then you will get it right. Then you get the spelling. Then you start spelling, you understand?
that's how you literally that's how you teach.
Strangely enough, the English man, I learned it through cartoons. Actually, I learned it through watching cartoons with my brother, watching music videos and all of that. I didn't learn it like through reading. It wasn't even the case.
I'll kill you now, nigga. Mother, what? Hey,
And funny enough, like, that was where I go on a tangent.
We've already gone on a tangent, so few.
We're on a tangent, we're running out of time.
But to basically wrap it up now, to basically wrap up the show, education. People think teaching kids is. I think they mostly teach abantwana ukema. So I think we should learn how to teach our kids how to. Our teach should love learning. They should love learning. They should be because kids are inquisitive. Kids are inquisitive. Kids are inquisitive as they are. From 4, 5, 6, they're inquisitive. They're gonna ask so many questions, and I think it's our jobs as not just parents but uncles,
community.
Yeah,
Yes, I feel like
large.
it would be so nice where if like the ECD programs that kids attend, Amakesh and stuff, have workshops for parents that are absolutely fundamental that you have to attend, where they will teach you how to teach your child as well. So as much as your kid is at creche, maybe Tuesday nights or Saturday morning, you're there for 2 hours, you're going through a workshop on how to read, how to teach sight words, how to teach vowels, how to teach. So you are an integral part of the learning with your child. So that when they're home and there's things like COVID, then there's things like your kid is sick and can't go to school, you are an active educator as well. Because the teaching is holistic. It cannot happen at school only.
Exactly.
It has to happen at home as well.
To make a prime example how important teaching is, because we want to wrap it up now. In Denmark, teaching is, you actually get a master's degree for it. You don't do teaching for 2 years and then you're a teacher. No, you do a master's degree for actual teaching. So I think in that master's, they teach you all of these things that Bosch is actually mentioning. Within all of that, they're teaching you how to. They probably teach you psychology as well. I think they put psychology in it as well. How to actually speak to a kid, how to realize that. How to actually teach them.
True.
Yeah, how to read, how to write,
and like you're making me like think of other things. Like as I was saying, with like what Bosch is doing to the community. You might not see it at face value, but now like when you think about it,
it's incredible.
Her kids, like after the Saturday class, can now go to their parents and talk to their parents. Remember, African kids don't know how to talk to their parents. Like, we don't talk to our parents at all. And now these kids are able to go to their parents. Because like a dog, homework is taboo in the hood. You understand? Like, I didn't do homework. I mean, I always had homework, but obviously I was okay. My mom busy, we are late, just planning, and she doesn't have time to check my homework, so I'm not gonna have time to do my homework. Man, just do whatever other kids are doing in the hood. You understand? But now, like these kids, they are actively taking the homework to their parents. You understand? Deep,
and my kids are like that. My kids are like that. My kids are the ones that remind me, "Ma'am, what's your homework?
I hated the person who was.
I was away for 2 weeks. I was filming something, and my kids were like, "Okay, ma'am, can you give us homework?" I was like, "Okay." They asked, and I didn't plan. I was like, "No, it's holiday. Let's have fun." They're like, "Ma'am, can you please give us homework?" I gave them 2 homework. They're like, "No, ma'am, it's gonna be boring. Like, it's not enough. What are we gonna do for 2 weeks?" I gave them 6 different kinds of homework. We showed up 2 weeks later. The classroom was locked. The school was locked in general. My kids stood outside the gate and were like, "Ma'am, we're showing you our homework." And I stood there for 2 hours in the sun, going through homework, them presenting their little charts. I had them interview their parents, the oldest person that they know. They went through their interviews and telling me what their parents taught them, what they taught them about their families. And they're like, okay, ma'am, do you have homework next week? Sizomala. I'm like, geez, guys, we're in the sun for 2 hours. But they're like, no, but ma'am, I need to see homework next week.
Those kids don't care.
Ma'am, can I say something? Can you do that at school? Can I cheat them? That's the light electricity.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's okay.
Okay.
You do everything.
I'll set
Talk
up
to
a
them.
program.
Yeah. Set up a
Oh, like
program.
we were talking about that, Gucci, like she's asking for help, so she needs all the help she can get. So,
So
You're just not allowed to
Yes.
take pictures of my children, but otherwise
I'm
you
not
can come.
going to take pictures. Me, I'm
Correct.
going to change the
That's
kids. Lights,
That's
talang radio, we come to your laptop, we come to your phone.
You see,
No,
we
I'm
are
here.
already doing it. We are already doing, guys.
and I'm glad that Omagzo is like,
The plumbing.
Oh
yeah,
yes, listen.
she's like
yes.
a father
Yes.
and like a member of the community, and she's saying, I want to help.
We need more of
And
this.
like
Shout out to
I
you.
also want to encourage like Ugoto Mags and I, abantwana bakhe abalete
Yeah.
to the Sunday class.
So,
Saturday.
Because like
you see,
Umaga
you
has
see-
like a brilliant daughter. Her daughter is brilliant.
Really, really,
like
really.
very active. Like she always asks me, which like yo, Tana yazini, ngicela assist this kid. Ngicela ungithole information, ungprintela ama picture. Like I want to do this homework.
Yeah.
Like akekho umuntu omfirst ukuthi yenze homework yesikole.
No.
She's like,
She's-
no, yazini like like you know when someone wants to get full marks for homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my sister.
That's my niece.
My first guest
my
on the
niece.
podcast.
Umfuna se-container inayenza ama-chips. Asimali umnathi. Ngifuna ithome zama nga-big 5.
Literally, that's the life I
Akabuzi
live.
into ey'ningi yazivela enzeni. Jamani bambala ngiyeza manje. Ku-laptop. Ngabe uyathi nje hayi short A1. Short ayiphi? Let me go look. Ngabuye print it out. Very nice.
I think that's fantastic to see from kids. Kids being inquisitive. If kids are inquisitive, they want to learn, and when they want to learn, they
You need to
can
nurture it.
nurture it, and so they can succeed.
Then now the boy, hey, he fixed everything. Hey,
Oh, that's brilliant.
hey, the school, hey.
Fixes
That's
everything.
Oh, Samgelo, yeah.
Present for others.
Hey, present father. Present fathers. Oh, guys.
Shout out to the
We
present
can-
fathers, present mothers, and overall present parents.
And
from
volunteer,
all-
guys.
Yeah, all the way from grandparents to what. And also, like, just because you don't have kids doesn't mean you can't help.
Me, I don't have children, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Shout
Voluntarily
out to
doing
you.
the Lord's work, as the Christians would say.
Guys, volunteer at your local schools, volunteer at your local preschools, even if it's just to clean up, help teachers.
Dina hates littering. I'm sure my kids
Yo,
don't litter.
no, my kids do not litter.
Every time, listen.
My kids do not
listen,
litter.
There's like a voice in the back of my mind. I know we must wrap it up now. There's a voice in the back of my mind every single time. I probably open something.
What would Sposh do?
Yes.
And what I do every
Oh,
other
until
time.
you find a pen.
Yeah,
Yes.
until I find a pin, I'm like, hey man, I'm not doing the less
Yes. I was the kid whose bag, like those little sides on the bag had little plastics if I didn't have a dustbin. Because it was so reiterated in me in primary school, like you are in charge of your environment. You are responsible for your environment. So whatever trash you see, it is your fault. Because you contribute to it. So you can't say
No, yeah,
it's you're responsible, it's your fault. You're
When I used to
contributing.
go to Primrose High, there used to be these bands, like Ballet, WJ. What would Jesus do? So like whatever.
What would Jesus do?
Hey!
Jesus would pick it up.
Hey.
Everywhere I go, I am the
never
litter
laugh at the
police.
same.
You are the litter
I
police.
am the litter police.
Yeah, hey.
Guys, so what we saying? Don't litter.
Please don't litter. It is so disgusting and
We-
so boring.
Listen, we can go for the next 3 hours, but we can't.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
please
because
do.
we need to wrap
Hey,
it
man.
up. We need to wrap it up. Sposh.
Good luck editing this.
Oh God! But listen, I have a new executive producer. He has that headache of editing all of this. We'll see it after. But my G,
And getting clean audio today was a hassle.
Wow.
Because there's like a lot of people in the building and everybody
It's a pop.
wanted to say something to
Yeah.
the mic. Thank you to everybody that's here.
Sound.
Very nice.
When you open it,
Even the
Yes.
bubble.
everything above life. You know what I mean? When it starts, you're opening
going out
sequence.
now.
Everything above life.
Ah, Sposh gave us an idea. We need that button. We need it. Sposh.
Pour yourself a drink, listen to the podcast, say something, comment, like, subscribe. Please share it. Come, if you want to be on the podcast, please say something, you guys. You know, we're such an open and welcoming community with different opinions, and we want to know what you're doing, what you're about, who you are. Let's
We
build a
interested.
community.
We
Everything
interested.
above life.
Yeah.
We interested. I couldn't have said it better. I feel like she is. Sposh, are you trying to take my job?
I tend to do that wherever I go. I tend to do it.
But anyways, that's great.
Mina Bengvashile, love you guys.
Siyabonga. Anybody who has an input in anything, siyabonga, guys. Sposh,
Today was wholesome.
Yeah.
today was wholesome. It started with jokes, and then it started with a whole lot of jokes, and then it became serious, and then but it was a mixture of everything.
Yeah, but heavy and light-hearted at the same time.
All at the same time. Sposh, thank you.
Please open a book, read something, even if it's a billboard. Jeez.
Read something. I suppose Amajawan.
If you're driving, read road signs, man.
pamphlet.
That's why you're going off the road.
Stop.
Read a pamphlet.
Read something.
Read something.
Read something.
Like, you don't have to have money to buy something library.
Yeah.
And if you're very newspapers.
There's books on the side of the road that you can get for 15 Rand. There's used books.
Where?
Kempton Park,
everywhere, actually.
like
Kempton Park.
Joburg.
Yeah, in my hood, like down the street.
15 rand.
Oh, really?
From 5 Rand.
So it's a plug, guys. Now you plug if you want books.
You're right. Yeah,
And also, like, please, if you have books that you're no longer reading, please donate them to Kanyisa Books Foundation.
Thank
so
you.
that the kids
One more
can
time.
read. And like, whatever you can donate, guys. Donate money, donate your time,
Yeah.
you know.
Resources.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be money.
Yeah, like your expertise, even like whatever like profession you're in, like please come teach the kids, you know, so that like we don't have one-dimensional kids who are gunning for the same careers, because not everybody will, you know, abanye abantu bagood ngezandla, abanye good with their brains and whatnot. So we need like everyone.
Please
to get
open your job shadowing. I have a child who's so
I fix you up late.
I have a child who's so interested in gynecology and obstetrician. Yebo. English 1, Lenah 0. So, listen, I have kids who are interested in piloting. I have kids who are interested in machinery. I have kids who are interested in being soldiers, who are interested in being soccer players and all these things. I have a broad and myriad, brilliant, amazing children who need your help to see their light.
And like we need to teach like technology, because all these fields have technology in them, whether it's computerized or manual, but it's still technology. Technology is just like inventions.
Yeah.
Can I shout out something?
Go ahead.
Okay, Kanyisa Books is looking for independent residents where we can have classes every day. So if anybody out there has the resources to get us permanent residents that's independent, that it'll be ours, where we can have everyday after-school programs, where we can have computer classes, robotics classes, where we can have classes where the kids can attend every single day. Please, I'm here, Lenah Sibisi at gmail.com, sibisi.lenah@gmail.com, kanyisabooks@gmail.com, we are justcrisp@gmail.com. I have 25 emails. Find me, you will get me.
Insta handles, one more time. Insta handle, Facebook.
You bring your child and the stove for the microwave and
Yeah, Magza is like talented, well, not talented, skilled electrician, You know, so if you bring your child to Khanyisa Books Foundation, he will fix an appliance for free.
That's incredible.
We don't have the
That's
button.
incredible. Also, I just want to say thank you so much to the program Isangleta that donated books that are worth like over 400,000 rand. Thank you to African Bank. Thank you to there's so many people who have helped us. But thank you so much.
Shout out the lady who wrote the African book for children.
That you were telling about earlier.
Oh yes, Wanda, the lady who wrote Wanda.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And also Ulebohang who wrote Mpomi's Magic Beads, who was the first person to sign a book for one of my kids.
It's true.
I'm like, that lady, I'm so grateful. So thank you so much to everybody who's donated, who's volunteered, who's come to help, who's wanted to see, who's read to the kids. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thanks to my friends, everybody. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
And shout out to everybody who knows me.
Taking it old school, TV.
Magda.
Oh, please know you are welcome to come and volunteer. I do not allow any photography and any film on my kids. I'm the only one who has permission to take any pictures of them, so please.
Me, I fix appliances.
Bring your kid, get your appliances fixed. It's such an easy trade. I mean, come on. For free. Let's get there.
Your appliance, I'll be there.
Bona.
So it's a win-win situation. Your kid becomes smarter, they gain confidence, and you have a working appliance.
And any companies out there that are willing to donate circuits and open circuits so our kids can learn how circuits work, so that Umaxa can be there and help and be hands-on with the children, I think it would be great. Thank you.
I think
and please bring a police clearance, because I work with children, so
of course, police
you cannot have
So excited. This episode has done a lot.
Yeah.
This episode has done a lot.
Wow.
I hope this encourages like a lot of people.
You might have to split this into two episodes.
Listen to...
This is like 2 hours, 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, no, it's not a lot. Listen, it's for people.
Don't worry, we'll go down a bit.
Okay.
But like, music, take over.
Sposh, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, you're my new co-host.
Yeah.
Executive producer.
Of course.
You know what, Mina? I will help because she's so smart. She's not just pretty. So she will help. She will help where you need her.
Guys, it's been wonderful. My guest, we talked about a lot. She is incredible.
Yes, sir.
And she's gonna continue to do more incredible things.
Yes, sir.
Magda is going. Shout out to you for helping.
Exactly.
But now, as I wrap it up, as I always do.
Before you do. Hi, guys. So Ikhanyisa Books Foundation wants to go to the book fair. So if you want to donate transport, food, tickets for us to go to the South African Book Fair, please do. I have 40 kids, but kids who are eligible to go will be 30 of them. So transport, food, tickets to the South African Book Fair, please. It'll be in October. Please help us. I think the 20-something.
All right.
Yeah.
And we can, sorry. For the donations, we can get the information on the page.
Yes, you can email me, lena.sibisi@gmail.com or sibisi.lena@gmail.com or wearejustcrisp@gmail.com or KhanyisaBooksFoundation@gmail.com.
Or you can find her on her handles, lena.sibisi at Instagram, Lenah Sibisi, Facebook. Yonke leyo nyaka.
Yebo.
Guys, choose love every day, especially on Sundays. We chose it again today because we brought a guest who is all about love.
Exactly.
She teaches kids voluntarily. That's love.
Mother of the nation.
Mother of the nation.
Siyabonga. So guys,
I feel like I'm craving the Migos with the
Junior Winnie Mandela.
Oh my gosh, I've been called that so many times. It's so stressful. Winnie Mandela is so stressful.
Also, like, I want to say, because, like, we don't say this at all. I don't ever say it.
Have we said it? Have you said it?
No, we haven't. We don't say it. And it's not like we don't say it enough. We don't say it in general. Yeah, we don't say it.
I'm proud of you, my G.
I really.
We are proud of you.
Guys, I ain't about to cry. I'm drinking wine.
We are proud of you.
As dume.
Thank you, guys. I'm so glad you guys are seeing what I'm doing. I'm
we are
so
proud
happy.
of you, dog. We are proud of you. And you are an inspiration, particularly to me.
It's true.
Because I think
No pressure. Jeez.
yeah, so I think in the next probably coming months, I want to do something similar. But okay, we're gonna discuss.
Oh, I'm opening a program for boys next year, so just boys.
We're gonna talk about it okay about
Just boys.
All right.
You're right. Hey, boys.
Yeah.
Just boys.
Yeah.
And
Proud
girls.
of
Not okay,
you.
boys.
Proud of
fine.
you. Like really, very, very proud of you.
And we love you.
Like there's no amount of words.
That we can actually describe how we actually.
Thank you, guys. I'm proud of you too. Thank you for this platform.
Yeah, we love you.
I love you
Back.
guys so much.
Please continue doing what
Y'all
you-
know
And
you're
I'm
my
so
boys.
glad-
I'm so
and I'm
happy.
so glad that just because like people are not reaching out and saying, "Yo, Sports, we're proud, we love you, thank you for doing this." Like you didn't do it for the cloud, you didn't do it for the recognition.
did it-
You did
it's
it
love.
just to build a community
It's love.
of Etembisa. And hopefully, as I was saying to Muzi last week, I'm hoping this spreads to other hoods.
Yeah.
And hopefully, like it gets to the whole of South Africa.
Give me the
It
help
goes-
and I
and
will
it goes
go.
to the continent.
I will go to every single school
You
in this.
deserve it, dear mama. Mama, I made it. Yeah, mouse, niggas. Magza.
Oh no, man.
Thank you guys. It was awesome.
Peace and
I had a
love,
good
guys.
time.
Peace and love. Peace and love. See you guys next week.
So, izoqala kanjani ne?